Alright, welcome to my playthrough of The Last of Us. This is the remastered version, as I'm sure you saw in the title there, on PlayStation 4. Now, The Last of Us originally came out on PlayStation 3 towards the end of its life cycle, and was very quickly released in a remastered form early in the PlayStation 4's life cycle. I don't know how many changes there are. I've beaten the PlayStation 3 version several times, but I've never played the PlayStation 4 remastered version. I don't think there's any changes in terms of like the gameplay or the content or anything like that. I think it's more just like a technical upgrade, things like improved graphics, performance, things like that, right? For the new more powerful PlayStation 4 console. It's developed by Naughty Dog, who is a really interesting game company to kind of look into the history of. They existed before the original PlayStation, but they really became quite prominent with the Crash Bandicoot series on the PlayStation 1. They kind of established a bit of pattern where for each generation of game console, they would come out with 3 main games and a spin-off. So on the PlayStation 1, they had Crash Bandicoot, Crash Bandicoot 2, Crash Bandicoot 3, and CTR Crash Team Racing, which is, some people argue, is the best kart racer on the market, even better than the really famous one of Mario Kart. Which is a bold claim, but some people really stand by it. Even though there's only one game that they've ever made in the CTR line. For PlayStation 2, they did the Jak and Daxter series. So Jak and Daxter, Jak 2, Jak 3, and Jak X Combat Racing. Again, another kind of kart racer. You see a little bit of a pattern here. And around about the PlayStation 2 era, Naughty Dog was acquired by Sony, so they are now an in-house first-person game studio for Sony, which is why all of their games are now PlayStation exclusive. For the PlayStation 3, they did the Uncharted series. Uncharted, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, and The Last of Us. So, not a kart racer, not an Uncharted kart racer, obviously. But it's also really interesting to note the tone and the style of the game. Crash Bandicoot was very simple, lighthearted, cartoony, colorful, bright, fun kind of thing. The Jak and Daxter series started in a very similar way, bright, colorful, cartoony, and gradually got more dark in theme, though still kind of cartoony in style. Uncharted was much more realistic in terms of its presentation, like humanoid proportions, they looked real, things like that. More realistic gunplay elements than like the kind of blasters and shockwave guns that you would get in the Jak and Daxter series. But still kind of maintaining that kind of lighthearted, fun tone, right? And The Last of Us is very similar technically to Uncharted, but is much, much darker in theme and presentation. It's very, very much so geared towards a mature audience, in contrast to a lot of their earlier franchises. So a lot of people kind of see this as Naughty Dog growing up with their audience. They've been able to maintain the same player base, the same fans throughout all 4 PlayStation console generations by changing the style and the tone and the type of game that they develop. They've been maturing and growing with their players, which is really kind of cool, actually. The Last of Us is considered by many to be kind of like the high point for storytelling in video games. It is honestly one of the best told stories in a game that a lot of people have ever seen, quite frankly. As you're going to see this episode, the prologue will deliver an emotional gut punch. Spoilers. Sort of, not really. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but yeah, no, it grips you by the heart and doesn't let go. Which just speaks to the skill and ability of these storytellers. And one of the really cool things about The Last of Us is its use of silence and stillness for emphasis. Now that seems like a bit of an odd thing about a game. Games are not usually known for being quiet or still. That kind of defeats the point of an interactive medium. But The Last of Us pulls it off masterfully. The soundtrack, for example, is very minimal. Even this, the main menu that you can hear, just small, simple, little ambient music. There's a lot of parts in the game which have no music whatsoever. And it's just the sound of the environment, the quietness of leaves rustling, wind through the grass, things like that. And what that does is when the music does kick in, it has that much more of an impact, which is phenomenal. Same thing with stillness versus action. There's a lot of parts in the game which are very empty, very still, very not a lot of action. And when that does lead to an action-based sequence, it gets your heart jumping, it gets your adrenaline flowing. It makes it that much more of an emphasis on the sudden terror of the action and the desperation to deal with it. The premise, for those who don't know, is actually really kind of clever in its concept. There exists in the real world a fungus called cordyceps, and it's most commonly found in ants and arachnids like spiders, but you can also find it in other insects other than ants. And what it does is, if an ant is infected with the cordyceps fungus, basically it gradually takes over the ant's brain functions, which is, nature is scary. It's kind of a weird horror, like a real world horror thing that mostly targets ants. And it takes over the ant's brain functions and grows within the ant's body. And basically what it does is it drives the ant to seek light. Now, what that means is the ant is more likely to climb to the top of a flower, a stick, a branch, a tree, whatever. Which, if you're an ant, means you're most likely to get eaten. It's why most ants don't do this. Because a bird's going to come see an ant on a leaf and it's going to eat it. Or a spider is going to see the ant and it's going to eat it. If you're high, if you're elevated above the underbrush, you're going to be seen, you might get eaten. And this is how cordyceps spreads, is basically the bird, the spider, the lizard, whatever, eats the insect that's infected with the cordyceps, and goes through the digestive system, and then whatever animal ate the insect poops out the remains of the insect, thus spreading the cordyceps to a new area. It's really, really neat biologically, but kind of terrifying. And it has actually been documented that an ant colony can tell when one of its members is infected with the cordyceps fungus in some types of ants and in some cases. And basically what they'll do is, if an ant is infected with the cordyceps fungus, they will forcibly eject that ant from the colony. They will pick it up, carry it as far away as they can, and dump it, because if that infection spreads within the colony's wiped out. The colony's done for. The basic premise of The Last of Us is, what if this wasn't limited to insects? Terrifying, right? But you will see just how terrifying that can be as we play through this game. And you'll see nature begin to reclaim the monuments to mankind's arrogance, as some people will call it, of cities, buildings, skyscrapers, things like that. So, I as you can tell, I'm really kind of excited about this. It's been several years since I've played through this game, so, and I do that on purpose, because I want to kind of forget what's coming up. I want to forget how to get through an area, so that way I can kind of rediscover it again for the first time again. So I hope you're as excited as I am. Without any further ado, let's get started, okay? I am just going to take a quick look into the options here, make sure that all the settings, all the controls are as I want them. I'm going to skip over that for the episode itself, and then you will... So I'll see you when we actually start the game.
Tommy, listen to me. He is the contractor. He's the contractor, okay? I can't lose this job. I understand. Let's talk about this in the morning, okay? We'll talk about it in the morning. All right, good night.
Hey.
Scoot.
Monday at work, huh?
What are you still doing up? It's late.
Oh, crud, what time is it?
It's way past your bedtime.
But it's still today.
Honey, please not right now. I do not have the energy for this.
Here.
What's this?
Your birthday? You kept complaining about your broken watch. So I figured, you know. You like it?
Honey, this is... It's
What?
nice, but I think it's stuck. It's not...
What? No. Oh, ha ha.
Where did you get the money for this?
Drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
Oh, good. You started helping out with the mortgage then.
Yeah, you wish.
Good night, baby girl.
Hello?
Sarah, honey, I need to get your daddy on the phone.
Uncle Tommy, what time is it?
I need to talk to your dad now. There's something...
Uncle Tommy? Hello? What was that all about?
So, one of the things about The Last of Us is there's lots of little things that you may not catch if you just kind of go straight through. Do you want to explore every nook and cranny and see everything else? Like, for example, you can see I can pick up the phone and check it again.
Phone's dead.
So it is a fairly slow progression game for that reason, if you want to experience it fully.
Oh, dang it. I forgot to give this to him.
Dinosaur's wearing a hat. So it says, "You're not a fossil yet. Happy birthday. Dear Dad, let's see. You're never around. You hate the music I'm into. You practically despise the movies I like. And yet somehow you still manage to be the best dad every year. How do you do that? Happy birthday, Pops." With a heart and Sarah.
Dad?
Admittance spikes at area hospitals. 300% increase due to mysterious infection. FDA expands list of contaminated crops. Massive recalls anticipated. Police. Crazed woman killed husband. 3 others.
Daddy? You in here?
Riots seem to be somehow connected to the nationwide
Where the heck
pandemic.
are you?
We've received reports that victims afflicted with the infection show signs of increased aggression and...
Move everybody out of here now. There's a gas leak. Hey,
There seems to be some commotion coming from...
get the hell out of here, right?
What is that? Dad?
Yeah, not gonna lie, I would probably have exactly the same reaction as Sarah to that, because that is creepy and just downright terrifying.
Dad? What is going on?
It's not that much later. It's only 2:15 according to that clock.
There's his phone. Eight missed calls. Where the hell are you? Call me on my way.
I'm going to be home late tonight. Go ahead and order food. See you in the morning, Dad. So that's obviously from before the beginning of the game.
Where is he?
I don't know if you noticed, but the tire swing there was suddenly swinging much more violently.
There you are.
Sarah, are you okay?
Yeah?
Does anyone come in here?
No, who would come in here?
Don't go near the doors. Just stand back there.
Dad, you're kind of freaking me out. What's going on?
It's the Coopers. Something ain't right with them. I think they're sick.
What kind of sick?
Jesus. Jimmy!
Dad?
Honey, come here. Come here. Jimmy! Jimmy, stay back! Jimmy, I am warning you. Don't!
You shot him.
Sarah,
I saw him this morning.
listen to me. There is something bad going on. We have got to get out of here. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
Tell me, come on. Come on.
Where the hell you been? You have any idea what's going on out there?
I got some notion.
Holy shit. You got blood all over you.
It ain't mine. Let's just get out of here.
They're saying half the people in Sydney lost their minds.
Can we just please go?
Some sort of parasite or something. You gonna tell me what happened?
Later.
Hey, Sarah. How you holding up, honey?
I'm fine. Can we hear us on the radio?
Yeah, sure thing.
Thanks.
No cell phone. No radio. Yeah, we're doing great. A minute ago, newsman wouldn't shut up.
He said where to go?
They said, Army's put up roadblocks on the highway. No getting into Travis County.
We need to get the hell out. Take 71.
71, that's right.
Did they say how many are dead?
Probably a lot. Found this one family all mangled inside their house. Right. Sorry.
Jesus Christ, how did this happen?
They got no clue. But we ain't the only town. First they're saying it's just the South. Now they're going on about the East Coast, the West Coast. Holy hell. That's Lewis's farm. I hope that son of a bitch made it out.
I'm sure he did.
Were we sick?
No, of course not.
How do you know?
They said it's just people in the city. We're good.
Didn't Jimmy work in the city?
That's right, he did. We're fine, trust me.
All right.
Let's see what they need.
What do you think you're doing? Keep driving.
I got a kid, Joel.
So do we.
But we have room.
Keep driving, Tommy. You ain't seeing what I see. Someone else will come along.
You should have helped him.
This is bad. Everyone and their mother had the same damn idea.
We could just backtracking.
What the fuck, man? Let's go!
Tommy!
Holy shit! Just happened.
What the fuck just happened? Did you see that?
Yes, sorry.
God damn.
Turn here, turn here.
No. Come on, people, move.
What are they running from?
Get us out of here.
I'm trying.
Oh no.
We can't stop here, Tommy.
I can't fucking drive through them, Joel!
Back up there!
They're behind me, too!
There!
Hold on! Go!
Daddy? Hey. Hey!
Get back, man. Get back.
Dad?
I'm here, baby. I'm here. Come on, give me your hand. What is it?
My leg hurts.
How bad?
It's bad.
We're gonna need to run.
Keep us safe. Come on, baby. Now hold on tight.
Daddy, I'm scared.
Joel, watch out!
Keep your eyes closed, honey.
Keep running!
Those people are on fire.
Don't look, Sarah. Keep looking at me, baby. We're gonna get out of this. I promise.
Get back! There's too many of them! This way! Through the alley! Go! He's dead!
Jesus.
God damn it!
We're almost there. We're almost there, baby.
They're getting through the fence! Keep going! Find your way out of here! Come on! Go! Move it! I can outrun him!
Uncle Tommy?
I will meet you there! Hurry!
Daddy, we can't leave him.
He's gonna be fine. We're almost there.
They're getting closer. Dad?
It's okay, baby. We're safe. We're safe. Hey, we need help.
Stop!
Please. It's my daughter. I think her leg is broken.
Stop right there!
Okay. We're not sick.
Got a couple of civilians in the outer perimeter. Please advise.
Daddy, what about Uncle Tommy?
We're gonna get you to safety and go back for him, okay?
Sir, there's a little girl. But... Yes, sir.
Somebody, we've just been through hell. Okay, we just need... Oh, shit. Please don't.
Oh no.
Sarah. Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know. Listen to me. I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. All right, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby. I know it hurts. Come on, baby. Please. I know, baby. I know. Sarah. Baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Come on. No. No. No, no, no. Please. 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 Please don't. Please.
The number of confirmed deaths has passed 200. The governor has called a state of emergency.
There are hundreds and hundreds of bodies lining the streets.
Panic spread worldwide after a leaked report from the World Health Organization showed that the latest vaccination tests have failed.
With the bureaucrats out of power, we can finally take the necessary steps.
Los Angeles is now the latest city to be placed under martial law. All residents are required to report to their designated quarantine. Riots have continued for a third consecutive day, and winter rations are at an all-time low.
A group calling themselves the Fireflies have claimed responsibility for both attacks.
Their public charter calls for the return of all branches of government.
Demonstrations broke out following the execution of 6 more alleged Fireflies.
You can still rise with us. Remember, when you're lost in the darkness, look for the light. Believe in the Fireflies.
I'm coming.
How was your morning? Want one?
No, I don't want one.
Well, I have some interesting news for you.
Where were you, Tess?
West End District. Hey, we had a drop to make.
We had a drop to make.
Well, you wanted to be left alone, remember?
So I'll take one guess. The whole deal went south and the client made off with our pills. Is that about right?
Deal went off without a hitch. Enough ration cards to last us a couple of months, easy.
You want to explain this?
I was on my way back here and I got jumped by these 2 assholes, all right? And yeah, they got a few good hits in, but... Look, I managed.
Give me that. Are these assholes still with us?
That's funny.
At least find out who they were.
Yeah, look, they were a couple of nobodies. They don't matter. What matters is that Robert fucking sent them.
Our Robert.
He knows that we're after him. He figures he's gonna get us first.
Son of a bitch, he's smart.
No. He's not smart enough. I know where he's hiding.
Like hell you do.
Old warehouse in Area 5. Can't say for how long, though.
Well, I'm ready now, yeah?
Oh, I can do now. The checkpoint's still open.
Only got a few hours left until curfew.
Well, we better hurry up then.
All right. Well, I told you this game starts by grabbing your heart, and it doesn't let go from here on out. That is easily one of the most intense beginnings to a game I think I have ever seen, and it would take something incredible to top it, right? So hopefully you're hooked, just like most people, and you'll join me next time as we continue to see what's up with Robert. So you know the drill. Click over there, and join me next time as we follow Tess to find Robert. See you then.